For this episode's Cool People Doing Cool Things, we have a guest with big ambitions and an even bigger heart. Please welcome co-president of By Any Means, or BAM, Jasmine Lu. Hi.
Hi.
Hi, how you doing?
I'm doing good.
Doing good? How's it? Yeah, no problem. Thanks for being here.
Yeah.
Yeah, how's your first week been so far?
It's been great. It's been really busy though, honestly.
Oh, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's the grind, right?
Yeah.
So tell me about your club. We know that we have a homelessness issue like globally. There's like a housing problem, right? And how is your club By Any Means taking steps to approach this locally?
Right. So first and foremost, what we do is we try to cater to the individual needs of shelters around the Irvine and Anaheim district. So what happens is we get a lot of emails from these shelters. They say, hey, we kind of need somebody to help man a game booth on an event night, or we need somebody to help package food or distribute food to the homeless on a certain day. Can you help us out? And of course, we try to help them out. So we send a bunch of volunteers to go. Usually what happens is the volunteers, they end up thoroughly enjoying their experience there, and they not only learn something about like the homeless people and like their predicament, but also a little bit more about themselves.
Okay. Yeah, that's great. Yeah, and so what exactly what made you want to get into like helping our less fortunate brothers and sisters?
So for me personally, I live around here, so I live in Cerritos, which is like a good 45 minutes away with or without traffic. So every single weekend I go home, but when I come back here, I usually pass through like the Westminster, Anaheim, like Irvine districts, and I always see a lot of areas, like we call them homeless camps, and they're basically places where the homeless kind of aggregate because they have nowhere else to go, and they kind of like characteristically like pitch tents and everything. And seeing this like problem, it really made me hurt a little bit inside, because a lot of people are focused on big issues like global warming and like a lot of other big issues like this, but they don't realize that homelessness itself is also a really big issue. And so because I want to help people, like this was something that I realized like I should take into my own hands instead of just letting someone else tackle that problem, So when I saw this problem, I realized like if I want something to change about that, then I should go ahead and do something about it myself. And that's why my co-president and my co-president Micah, she also started this organization with me.
Nice. And like you said, there's not enough people paying attention to the issue of homelessness, right? And there's actually like a social stigma on our homeless folks. And so what do you think we can do to take steps to address that?
Yeah, so what I found by being like the co-president of this club, when I talk to a lot of people, a lot of the time they tell me like, oh, how do you kind of get past like that mental blockage? And what I usually tell them is like, it's really something you have to experience for yourself. You really have to go and talk to these people yourself. You really have to like interact with these people, and in doing so, you'll understand so much better that like these people are humans and they're just like us. And like the word homelessness really only applies to someone without a home. It doesn't give you a certain characteristic. It doesn't mean that you have different kinds of like hair or genes. It doesn't mean that you have a different mentality or anything like that. So one way that I would suggest like people break that kind of stigma is to go and just spend a day with somebody who you would call homeless, and you'll see for yourself like how alike we all are.
So what has been your most enlightening or your favorite experience with like working with homeless folks?
My favorite experience was actually at Halloween. So for Halloween, what we did is we went to the Boys and Girls Club. I believe it's in Anaheim, and we helped with like a game booth. So we had like this poster board with a bunch of little balloons, and what the kids had to do was that they had to shoot like with a Nerf gun. They had to shoot certain balloons, and they would be awarded like candy prizes. And one of my favorite memories from that is that this little homeless boy, he was participating in like he was participating in the game, and he used a piece of candy to like kind of throw it at the balloon because the Nerf gun hadn't been working so well, and he did it so hard that we were literally ducking because it was so fast and like furious, and it was like scary, but like now that I think back at it, it's like a really funny memory. Yeah.
Nice. And I listened to all these these answers you've given me, and I really want to get involved now. And how can the rest of the UCI community get involved with you guys too if they want to help out?
Yeah, so we're a new organization, so we don't really have a lot of like the huge requirements that a lot of clubs might have. So really, like if you want to help out, like that's good enough for us, you know. And so all you have to do is come talk to one of us, one of the board members. I mean, you can come email me. I think my email is up on the Campus Orgs website.
Okay.
They can go ahead and search it up as well. Like we have a website going on too. They can just email us, like ask us to put them on the roster. They can come to our meetings and everything, and it's all settled. Like we don't really require much from people.
All right. And is there any upcoming events you want to tell our viewers?
Yeah, actually, I'd really like to encourage everyone to come out to our meetings. We have meetings every odd numbered week of the quarters, so week 1, 3, 5, 7, and 9. And we also have a bunch of bonding activities. So what we do usually, we either go to dinner, we go to like a bowling alley, we have a study review session, like something like that, you know, like come out and spend time with us and like meet us. We're all really cool people. It doesn't necessarily mean you have to volunteer, but like just come meet us and have some fun. As for upcoming events, we have one on January 27th, I believe. We're going to be helping an organization called Helping Hands, and we're going to be packaging food to distribute to like the homeless.
Okay. Yeah. Sounds good. And thanks again so much for being on our show.
Yeah,
and
for having
yeah,
me.
of course. And it's honestly, it's people like you that make the world a better place. I'll definitely try to be involved with you guys by any means. And that's this segment of Cool People Doing Cool Things. I'm your host, Mason Tran, and I'll see you guys next time.